Hello and welcome to today's math lesson. So first of all guys, can we all turn to wave and say a big hello to our friends on camera? Hello. And we'll begin by doing our meditation sequence. So I will sit down, take 2 fingers, find our heart center, left hand on our laps and close our eyes. When you're ready guys, you can open your eyes and come back to the room. And next we can do our stretch sequence. So let's stand up and push in our chairs. Let's begin by stretching up high to the sky. High as we can. And then let's go down low. Touch our toes. Back up high one more time. And this time, can we go tippy toe high? And while we're there, let's have a wave side to side. And then back down to touch your toes once more. Stand up guys and have a shake. Arms and legs, shake it out. And then hands on hips. And have a wiggle side to side. Stop. Another wiggle side to side. Stop. Forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, and stop. And next we'll go round and round. Round and round. Give our spines a nice stretch. And then back the other way. Back round and round the other way. And to finish, guys, we will do 5 claps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent, guys. Have a seat. So in today's math lesson, we've reached the end of the section that we've currently been studying. And what have we been learning in math class recently, guys? Rectangles, correct. Well remembered. So today is our review lesson. And I'll write that phrase on the board first. So rectangles, R-E-C-T-A-N-G-L-E-S. All together, guys, rectangles. And review, R, E, V, I, E, W. So all together, we can say rectangles, review. Yes. Now, there were two particular types of rectangles that we learnt about. The first one was the standard rectangle. Now, how many sides does a rectangle have? 4 sides, yes. Every rectangle will have 4 sides. Now, who can remember what is the name of shapes with 4 sides? Begins with qu. Square is one, but it's not quite. Square is a type of quadrilateral. Excellent, Prao. Very well remembered. All shapes with 4 sides are quadrilaterals. Quad actually means 4. That means 4. And we had 2 particular types of rectangles. The first rectangle was a standard one, such as this. Now, with this type of rectangle, are all sides the same length? No, only the opposite sides. Opposite sides, same length. We can see here that this side is the same length as this side, so we can mark them using a symbol, the same. And then we can do the same with these 2 sides that are opposite each other here. These are the same too. So with a standard rectangle, opposite sides are of the same length. But then, Pak Bung, you told me about another shape, a square. Now, a square is a special type of rectangle because are all the sides the same length now? Yes, you see, that is the difference between a standard rectangle and a square. A square has all sides same length. Okay, so they're the 2 shapes, the 2 rectangles that we've looked at so far. All together, rectangle, opposite sides, same length. Squares, all sides, the same length. That's the main difference between the 2. That's how we tell them apart. And we learned how to work out 2 different types of factors regarding rectangles. The first one, perimeter. Yes, the perimeter is the distance all the way around the outside of a shape. So perimeter, the way that we calculate a perimeter, excellent, well remembered. The perimeter, which is all the distance on the outside of a shape, we take length plus width, okay? And we can put that calculation in brackets because it's the one we do first. Then when we have the answer for length plus width times 2, okay? Now that's the perimeter. But can anybody remember what else we learned how to do too? The total area, okay? So the word area. Now the area is larger than the perimeter. Can anybody remember how we work out the area? Correct. This time we do length times width. And it gives us our answer. And who can remember what number we have to put at the end of the answer? Put the number 2, because when we talk about area, it's the amount of the area squared. So that was a brief recap of the different types of rectangles and how we can work out the perimeter and the area. So well done, guys. That was brilliant. Very well remembered. And what we've got now is a PowerPoint presentation for our students to recall some of the various factors about rectangles before we move on to do some exercises in this review lesson. So So let's all turn to have a look at the TV screen, please, guys. So let's take a look at our PowerPoint presentation today. Rectangles review. Yes. And in the picture here, you can see some different types of rectangles. All have 4 sides. And the rectangles, the standard ones, are the ones with the opposite sides of the same length. But here, we have a special type of rectangle, square. This one here, you can see all sides same length. So 1 square, and how many rectangles? Yes. A rectangle has 4 right angles. And you can see them in the corners here. When a vertical line meets a horizontal line, a right angle is created. The opposite sides are always parallel and of the same length. Yes, opposite sides, same length. A rectangle is the type of shape known as a quadrilateral. Yes, so try to remember quadrilateral is 4 sides. Like triangle is 3. Triangle is 3 sides. Quadrilateral, 4 sides. Rectangles and squares. The symbols 1 and 2 indicate that those sides are of the same length. You can see here, symbol 1 and symbol 1 used for these 2 sides the same length. And then symbol 2 and symbol 2 here are used for these 2 sides of the same length. Rectangles can be different sizes and colours. Is this a rectangle? No. No. What type of shape is this? Triangle. This is a triangle. Remember I said earlier, how many sides for the triangle? Tri means 3, quad means 4. Is this a rectangle? Yes. Yes. How many sides? 4. Perfect. Any side with 4. So we can say, yes, this is a rectangle. A square is a special type of rectangle. All the sides of a square are of equal length. So the standard rectangle, opposite sides equal, but the square, all sides equal. Similar to a rectangle, a square also has 4 right angles, always in the corners here. And you can see the symbol 1 is used 4 times because every side is the same length. Is this a square? No. This is a normal rectangle, yes. This is a rectangle because opposite sides, same length. Is this a square? Yes. Why? Perfect. That's how we tell a square. So we can say, yes, this is a square. What colour is the square? Orange. Well done, guys. Now we'll move on to measurements. The perimeter of a rectangle is the distance around the outside. Okay, so perimeter is the distance around the outside. We find the perimeter by measuring the sides and adding them up. Yes. So, 5 centimeters plus 8 centimeters. Okay, 13 centimeters. Well done so far. What do we need to do next? 13 centimeters times 2. Perfect. That's how we do the perimeter. You see? Length plus width times 2 is the perimeter. Therefore, the perimeter of this rectangle is 26 centimeters. Notice with perimeter, we don't need squared. You don't need the number 2 after for perimeter, only for area. The perimeter of a square is the distance around the outside of it. So exactly the same as a standard rectangle, but this time the length you can do times 4 because all sides on the square are the same size. We find the perimeter by measuring the sides and adding them up. Now we can either do 7 plus 7 times 2, or you can just do 7 times 4. Let's do 7 plus 7 first. Equals 14. So then 14 times 2. 14 times 2 equals 28. But if we just take one side, 7 times 4, what do we get? Equals 28 too. Because all the sides on a square are the same, we can just take one side and times by 4. We'll get the same answer. Therefore, the perimeter of this square is 28 foot. Yes, always be careful that you're using the correct unit, not always centimeters or meters. The area of a rectangle is the amount of surface it covers. We find the area by multiplying the length by the width of the sides. So here we have 7 centimeters by 14 centimeters. 14 times 7, or 7 times 14. Again? 98? Let's have a look. 14 times 7 equals 98. Well done, Dan. But what do we have to do, guys, with the area? What do we do with our answer? What needs to come at the end? 2. The number 2, because the area is always squared. Therefore, the area of this rectangle is 98 centimeters squared. Now let's do one more, but with the area of a square. The area of a square is the amount of surface it covers. We find the area by multiplying the base by the height of the sides. So with a square, because it's the same sides, it's the same number times by itself. For example, 5 times 5. 5 times 5 centimeters equals 25 centimeters. Is this correct? No. What have I forgot to do? 2 at the end. Because we have to say the area of this square is 25 centimeters squared. So there are different types of rectangles and how to calculate the perimeter and the area of each one. Any questions, guys? That was brilliant. Well done. Welcome back to class. We hope your students enjoyed the PowerPoint presentation so that they can learn the review about the different factors regarding rectangles and a special type of rectangle known as squares. How they are similar, but also how they are different. And then also how to calculate the perimeter and the area too. And now guys, it's time for our stretch sequence. So let's stand up and push in our chairs. And for this sequence, we'll begin with some rotations. So let's go left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Excellent, guys. And now we can do some stretches. Let's do 5 stretches to our right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 5 stretches to our left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent, guys. Now have a shake. Arms and legs, shake it out. And then we can take our right hand and find our left foot. Left hand, right foot. Right hand, left foot. Left hand, right foot. Right hand, left foot. Left hand, right foot. Then have another shake, guys. Shake it out one more time. Okay, and to finish, we will do 5 slow jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent, guys. Have a seat. So now it's time for a board exercise for our students to demonstrate their understanding of how to answer word problems involving rectangles. Remember when we had to learn about word problems, guys, where you answered some word problems and then you created your own. So what I'm going to do now is a board exercise to write a couple of word problems on the board. The first one, we'll ask about the perimeter. And the second one, we'll ask about area, so our students can demonstrate the different factors. So let's see, we need a word problem. A garden is 15 foot long and how many foot wide shall we say, guys? We've got 15 foot long. How about width? How wide is the garden? 8 foot, okay, and 8 foot wide. So let's say that together first. A garden is 15 foot long and 8 foot wide. So the first word problem we're going to do about perimeter. So the question is, what is the perimeter of the garden? Is that correct? What do I forget? Correct. So let's say it all together now, guys. A garden is 15 foot long and 8 foot wide. What is the perimeter of the garden? Okay, so let's see what student can come forward and demonstrate how to work out the perimeter of the garden. Pak Bung. Come and join me at the front of class, please. but we can all help Pak Bung. First of all, guys, who can remember what's the calculation for working out the perimeter? What do we need to do? Perimeter is length plus width times 2. Okay, so let's have a look at our figures. What's our length? 15 foot. What's our width? 8 foot. So Pak Bung, can you do the first calculation? 15 foot plus 8 foot equals 23. 15 foot plus 8 foot equals 23 foot. Okay, is that the perimeter, or do we have to do something else? Times 2, correct, well done, Dan. So we've got 23 foot, but we now need to times that by 2. So 23 times 2. Or 2 times 23. Perfect. You see, we're working out the perimeter of the garden. 46 foot. Because what we've done, or what Pak Bung has correctly done, she took the length, she's plussed it by the width, and then times it by 2. So we can say together, guys, the perimeter of the garden is 46 foot. And that's how we do it. The perimeter is length plus width times by 2 every time. Pak Bung, that was brilliant. High five and a big round of applause for Pak Bung, please, guys. Okay, so that was perimeter of a rectangle. Now, let's do area of a square. What I'll need to do first, I'll just need to clean the board one moment. Okay, so now it's time for an area of a square. We've had a garden, now let's have a painting. A painting is a square with sides of how many centimeters? 18 centimeters. So remember, because it's a square, all sides are of the same length. So the sides are 18 centimeters. We've already worked out the perimeter, guys. What do we need to work out now? Not the perimeter, we want the area. So we can work out by saying, what is the area of the painting? Question mark. So let's say it all together, guys. A painting is a square with sides of 18 centimeters. What is the area of the painting? Yes. So now let's see who can come forward and answer the question about the area of our square. Frau, please come and join me at the front of class, please. Okay, so guys, we've got a square. What is the length of the sides of our square? So what's the calculation we need to do to work out the area? What do we do?
18 times 18.
Perfect. With the area, it's always the number times the other number. But with squares, all sides the same length. So 18 times 18. And Prayer will show how to do it with the working out. 8 times 8, 64, yep. Excellent, Prayer, well done. We've got the 4 down. Go to 6. She's doing long multiplication because it's quite a hard calculation. 18 times 18. Okay, so what's our answer, guys?
324.
Everybody happy? Everybody agree? 18 times 18? 324. Okay, but 324 what? Centimeters. And then what do we need to do when we work with the 2? Yes, we need the 2 at the end, because with the area we have to say centimeters squared. So our answer, guys, the area of the painting is 324 centimeters squared, which we do by measuring the distance or the length of the sides. And Prel, that was brilliantly worked out. High five. Big round of applause for Prel, please, guys. And now it's time for our worksheet part of the lesson. So teachers, make sure every student in your class gets their own worksheet. And because today is a review lesson, what we want our students to do is to look at each of the rectangles and work out the perimeter and the area. So similar to the calculations we've been using for the word problems, perimeter is length plus width times 2. And then area is length times width. So you have your spaces, guys, to work out your answers and write them. But what's the first thing we need to do? Names on top. And give our students around 12 minutes for this activity and just help them with anything they need. So Net, this one's for you. You're welcome, Pak Bung. Pat, for you. Nadia, here's yours. Chu, for you. You're welcome. Down, here's yours. You're welcome. Pleu, for you. You're welcome. Lakau, for you. You're welcome. And Pangpung, for you. You're welcome. So names on top first, guys, and then make sure that you work out the perimeter and the area. And remember the 2 different calculations. Perimeter, length plus width times by 2. But then for the area is length times width. And for the area, the answer is always squared. And if you need any help, let me know. Pakpung, bless you. So our first rectangle, Net, we've got 12 length. How many centimeters width? 5. So for the perimeter, 12 plus 5 equals 17. But what do we need to do with 17? Times the 17 by 2. 2 times 17. Equals 34, correct. So that gives us the perimeter. But for the area, it's different. We need to take the length, 12, and times it by the width. So for the area, it's 12 times 5. 12 times 5. Any volunteers? Or 5 times 12? If we think of 10 times 5 as 50, what's 12 times 5? Equals 60. Well done, Pak Bung. But what do we need to do with our answer for the area? Centimetre 2, or you can say centimetre squared. So you can see how it's different for the area and the perimeter. We use the same numbers, but in different ways. And remember the different measurements too, guys. Centimeters, kilometers. Excellent, Claire, well done. And if you need any help, let me know. Excellent sound. Brilliant. So what we mean by perimeter is around the outside. That's the perimeter, the distance around the shape. The area is everything inside. And the two different ways to work out. Excellent, Ned, well done. So this one, 9 times 3, 27, brilliant. The next one for the perimeter, 11 plus 6. Welcome back to class. We hope your students enjoyed the worksheet exercise where they had to show their understanding of rectangles by working out the perimeter and the area. Remember guys, we use the same figures, but we use them in different ways. And my students here all did an excellent job, so very well done, guys. And that's all we've got time for today. And that brings us to the end of our section on rectangles. So we hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you again soon for the next lesson. So can we turn to wave and say goodbye, guys? Goodbye. Bye-bye. See you again soon.